After hearing Dai Mubai's words, the four people following him fell silent for a moment. Finally, Xiao Wu couldn't help but speak up. Zhao, are you choosing students or spouses? This is way too strict. No wonder the teacher at the gate said you only accept monsters here. Only monsters could pass these 4 tests. I'd like to know, how many students does Shrek Academy have now? And how many students can you enroll each year? Dai Mubai's face showed a bitter smile. Since the founding of Shrek Academy, in 20 years, we've only enrolled 42 students. That's an average of just over 2 per year. If the 4 of you are accepted this year, it will be a record. In fact, we haven't had any new students in the past 2 years. Currently, there are only 3 students, including myself, in the academy. E3. Tang San, Xiao Wu, and the gentle girl all exclaimed in surprise, except for the cold girl. Dai Mubai laughed self-deprecatingly. In the entire Dolua continent, we might be the only academy with more teachers than students. Even if you are all accepted, the number of students in our academy will still not exceed the number of teachers. Tang San asked, how can the academy survive like this? Without students, there should be no income, right? Dai Mubai replied, do you think we're in this small village for no reason? It's because of a lack of funds. If my family hadn't sponsored us a bit, the academy would have closed last year. If we can't get new students this year, the 3 of us currently enrolled will be the last batch of students from Shrek Academy. Then why doesn't the academy relax its admission requirements a bit? There seem to be quite a few people signing up, the gentle girl asked, puzzled. Dai Mubai showed a respectful expression. The headmaster said he'd rather have none than lower the standards. No matter what, even if Shrek Academy closes, he won't accept any trash, only monsters. Do you know the graduation requirement for our academy? We're neither a mid-level nor a high-level Spirit Master Academy, because our requirements are different from theirs. We only accept students under the age of 13 who are exceptionally talented. The graduation requirement is to reach level 40 and attain the rank of Spirit Elder before the age of 20. The academy has admitted 62 students in total, but only 14 have graduated. Each of these 14 became notable figures after leaving the academy. The most outstanding one is now the youngest elder in the Spirit Hall, second only to the Pope. Those who didn't graduate either couldn't reach level 40 before 20 or died while hunting spirit beasts. The headmaster said that anyone below level 41 shouldn't go out and embarrass him. As Dai Mubai spoke, his emotions clearly became more passionate. It was evident he held the headmaster of Shrek Academy in great respect. Tang San smiled and said to Dai Mubai, I'm very glad to be here. Dai Mubai sighed. The Barak Kingdom's royal family originally planned to sponsor the academy, but required the graduates must pledge allegiance to the royal family. The headmaster refused outright. Shrek Academy is isolated and often excluded by other academies, which is why it's in this state now. Tang San suddenly felt a strong desire to meet the headmaster Dai Mubai spoke of, to see what kind of person could be so dedicated to maintaining such an academy for 20 years. We're here, Dai Mubai said as he stopped walking. They had arrived at another open space, smaller than the area of the second test, about 200 square meters. A middle-aged man in his 50s was sitting in a chair, dozing. Teacher Zhao, I've brought people for the 4th test. We have candidates for the 4th test this year? And 4 of them. The middle-aged man opened his sleepy eyes, looking at the 4 young people before him with some surprise, as if encountering something unbelievable. Dai Mubai said, not only did they reach the 4th test, but they also all bypassed the 2nd and 3rd tests. Teacher Zhao's eyes lit up as he stood up from his chair. He wasn't tall and had an ordinary appearance, but he looked extremely solid. Despite being shorter than 12-year-old Tang San, he exuded a sense of strength. His broad shoulders were like city walls, and his coat couldn't conceal the iron-like muscles beneath. Although his expression was friendly, His robust build naturally created a strong sense of pressure. All four of you are over level 25. Not bad, not bad. It seems we have quite a few little monsters this year. I'm the one responsible for the final test. Pass my test, and you will officially become members of Shrek Academy. However, my test isn't easy to pass. Practical experience is essential for every spirit master's strength. What I test is your ability in this area. He smiled warmly at the four. My name is Zhao Wuji. Since all four of you skipped the second and third tests, I'll personally play with you. Now, I give you the time it takes for one incense stick to burn to get to know each other and discuss your strategy. After that, the test begins. The test is for the four of you to jointly withstand my attacks for the duration of one incense stick. As long as one of you can hold out until the end, you all pass. I hope you understand. Don't try to cheat. No one can escape this area with speed alone. And I remind you, it's impossible to block my attacks alone. Coordinated teamwork is your only chance of success. A teacher Zhao, isn't this a bit much? Dai Mubai said hesitantly. Zhao Wuji glared at him. What's the problem? The headmaster isn't here, so I'm in charge. If I say it's fine, then it's fine. I'm going to light the incense now. You don't have much time, so prepare yourselves. Xiaobai, you can also tell them about my strengths, so they can be better prepared. After saying this, Zhao Wuji pulled out a stick of incense from somewhere. With a flick of his fingers, he lit the incense and inserted it into the ground without a tremor. Having done this, Zhao Wuji sat back in his chair and closed his eyes to continue napping. Tang San and the others didn't feel particularly strange about the test proposed by Zhao Wuji. Instead, it was Dai Mubai who looked very serious as he beckoned the four to gather around him. With a serious expression, Dai Mubai said, This time, I can't help you. I didn't expect teacher Zhao to step in personally. Xiao Wu smiled. This teacher Zhao isn't another soul emperor like the teacher at the gate, is he? Dai Mubai shook his head. No, he's not. Xiao Wu laughed. Then there's nothing to be afraid of. We four have nearly level 30 strength each. If the difference in strength isn't too vast, we should be able to hold out for the time it takes an incense stick to burn, right? Dai Mubai gave her a look that seemed to call her foolish. If you think it's easy to withstand Teacher Zhao's attacks, you're gravely mistaken. Teacher Zhao isn't a level 60 soul emperor. He's a level 76 soul sage. Beast spirit, battle soul sage. He's the deputy headmaster, second only to the headmaster. The pupils of Tang San and the others contracted almost simultaneously. Level 76? In their minds, even a soul sage could easily dominate an army of 10,000 soldiers. Xiao Wu couldn't believe it. He's level 76? But he looks much younger than the teacher at the gate. Dai Mubai said calmly, Age doesn't matter. Time is short, so I'll briefly tell you about Teacher Zhao's strengths. Then you must immediately decide on a strategy. Otherwise, it won't just be the time of one incense stick. You'll be lucky to withstand his first wave of attacks. Tang San and the others' expressions turned serious. Facing a level 76 soul sage was no joke. In the legends of Tang San's Holy Spirit Village, there was said to be a soul sage. But that was only a legend, whereas this soul sage was real and would soon test them. Dai Mubai smiled bitterly. Originally, Teacher Zhao was just supposed to oversee the fourth test. Your opponent should have been me. If you could withstand my attacks for the time of one incense stick, you would pass. But today, for some reason, he decided to personally test you. A Teacher Zhao's spirit is the vigorous King Kong bear, a powerful beast spirit. He has no weaknesses, with extremely strong defense. Even spirit masters at his level find it hard to break his defense. While speed isn't his forte, the difference in spirit power between you and him is so vast that you won't be faster than him either. His greatest strengths are his attack power and defense. He's known as the Unmovable King in the Academy. Even if it were the four of you plus me, we might not be able to withstand his attacks for the time of one incense stick. I just hope Teacher Zhao isn't too serious when attacking you.
No weaknesses.
These simple words highlighted Zhao Wuji's formidable nature. The short-haired gentle girl suddenly exclaimed, he's the unmovable king Zhao Wuji. He disappeared from the continent for 10 years, and now he's teaching at Shrek Academy. He once had a conflict with Spirit Hall, and they tried to punish him, but he fought his way out from 16 bishops. That matter was eventually left unresolved. Spirit Hall's bishops are at least level 60 soul emperors. At that time, Zhao Wuji must have been in his 60s. Now he's even stronger.
Daimubai nodded silently.
At least, I've never seen Teacher Zhao go all out. So, you better pray. Teacher Zhao's 7 spirit rings include 200-year rings, the 3rd and 4th are 1,000-year rings, and the last 3 are 10,000-year rings. All his spirit rings enhance his attack and defense. You should be able to imagine how terrifying he is. Now, introduce yourselves to each other, state your names and abilities, and figure out the best way to coordinate and resist Teacher Zhao's test. Tang San was the first to speak. My name is Tang San, Tool Spirit Blue Silvergrass, Level 29 Control System Battle Spirit Master. Seeing Tang San speak, Xiao Wu followed. Xiao Wu, Beast Spirit Rabbit, Level 29 Assault System Battle Spirit Master. The short-haired girl hesitated for a moment before saying, Shi Ning Rongrong, Tool Spirit 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda, Level 26 Support System Tool Spirit Master. Finally, the cold girl spoke, Zhu Zhu Qing, Beast Spirit Hell Civet, Level 27 Agility System Battle Spirit Master. After they introduced themselves, everyone's attention, including Dai Mubai's, was focused on Ning Rongrong. Tang San was surprised. Your spirit is the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda? Then you must be from the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Clan. The 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda is a hereditary spirit. Only direct descendants of the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Clan could possess it. Master's evaluation of the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda was brief. The most powerful auxiliary spirit in the entire continent. It's the best partner for all combat spirit masters. Among the 6 symbols of the Spirit Hall, one of the 3 missing on Master's token was the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda, showing the immense prestige of this sect in the spirit world. Ning Rongrong stuck out her cute little tongue and said, Don't look at me like that. I'm no different from an ordinary person. I ran away from home. Let's focus on passing this test first. My spirit is the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda with 2 spirit rings. I can enhance everyone's speed and strength by about 30%. It will last for the duration of 1 incense stick. A 30% boost was already quite significant, but Tang San knew that the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda was deemed the most powerful auxiliary spirit by Master, because each additional spirit ring not only added another attribute to enhance, but also increased the amplification effect of all previous attributes by 10%. This meant that if Ning Rongrong's spirit power reached level 30, she could enhance another attribute and all attributes' amplification would increase to 40%. This pattern continued. At level 70, she could instantly boost 7 attributes by 80%. This was a terrifying effect. Having a 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda Spirit Master assisting could almost double one's strength instantly. The stronger the Spirit Master, the more significant the boost from the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda. In both empires, the appearance of a 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Sect Spirit Master would immediately make them the target of all Spirit Master organizations, drawing massive attention. Fortunately, the amplification effects of the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda couldn't be stacked. This meant that if there were 2 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Spirit Masters, the boost would only come from the one with the higher spirit power. The biggest weakness of the Seven Treasures glazed tile pagoda was its lack of attack power, requiring protection from battle spirit masters. However, many were willing to become protectors of the Seven Treasures glazed tile sect, including at least 2 top-tier spirit masters, the title Dolua. Across the continent, the Seven Treasures glazed tile sect was undoubtedly one of the top 3 sects. As for the amplification effects at levels 80 and 90, only the core members of their sect knew. This was always the greatest secret of the Seven Treasures glazed tile sect. Dai Mubai took a deep breath and said, "You 4 have a good combination without overlapping spirit systems. Decide how you'll resist teacher Zhao's attacks." Tang San thought for a moment and said, "Ning Rongrong will support the 3 of us. Xiao Wu will be the main attacker. I'll control teacher Zhao's attacks as much as possible, and assist Xiao Wu in direct attacks. Zhu Qing, please harass from the side with your speed." Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong both nodded, and Zhu Qing, after a glance at Tang San, also agreed with a slight nod. With such a short time, they could only use this simple tactic. As for its effectiveness, it would have to be tested in battle. They had never faced such a powerful opponent before and would only know how strong he was after fighting him. "Are you done discussing?" Zhao Wuji's loud voice called out. The 4 turned to see that the incense stick on the ground had burned to its end. "A teacher, we're ready to begin." Dai Mubai nodded to Zhao Wuji and quickly stepped aside to watch. Despite the unequal fight, seeing Zhao Wuji in action was a learning opportunity he wouldn't miss as a strength-type assault spirit master. Zhao Wuji stood up, clasped his hands, and flexed his wrists, producing a series of bone-cracking sounds that increased the invisible pressure. Zhao Wuji produced another incense stick. Before he could light it, Ning Rongrong had already begun. A 7 treasures turn out with glass. As her body spun gracefully, brilliant 7-colored light emanated from her. In her right palm appeared a 7-colored pagoda about a foot tall. The pagoda gleamed with precious light, and Ning Rongrong, smiling serenely, looked like an ethereal being. 2 yellow spirit rings rose from her feet, quietly circling her. A 7 treasures have names. First, strength. The first spirit ring shone, enveloping the pagoda, and 3 beams of light radiated out, landing on Tang San, Xiao Wu, and Zhu Qing. Immediately, a warm energy surged through their bodies. They felt their strength increase, and their spirit power seemed to boil. Zhao Wuji was surprised to see Ning Rongrong. Goodness, this year's candidates include someone from the 7 Treasures glazed tile clan. Not bad, not bad. Old Ghost Flender will be thrilled. As he spoke, he lit the incense stick and casually threw it to the ground. A 7 treasures have names. Second, speed. 3 more beams of light shot out as Ning Rongrong's second spirit ring activated. Tang San felt his body lighten as if he had lost weight. He marveled at the 7 treasures glazed tile pagoda's power, which indeed lived up to its reputation as the top auxiliary spirit. The simultaneous 30% increase in speed and strength made him feel much stronger. At that moment, Zhao Wuji moved, but he didn't charge at Tang San and the others. Instead, he half-squatted and punched the ground with both fists. Not good, Tang San muttered. The moment Zhao Wuji launched his attack, he understood what his opponent intended. Master had once said that if they ever encountered an opponent with a 7 treasures glazed tile sect spirit master, they must first deal with the 7 treasures glazed tile sect spirit master. Zhao Wuji's attack wasn't aimed solely at Ning Rongrong, but his apparent intent to unleash a ranged attack was still meant to disrupt Ning Rongrong's 7 treasures glazed tile pagoda's auxiliary effects. A blue-black vine suddenly shot out, devoid of thorns because it only inherited Tang San's first spirit ring's effect. The vine swiftly coiled around Ning Rongrong's waist, and as Tang San leaped, he brought Ning Rongrong's body into the air. With a muffled boom, the earth trembled violently, and a wave of ochre-colored energy surged towards Tang San and the others. Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing reacted quickly. Xiao Wu leaped forward while Zhu Zhuqing sprang from the side, traversing through the tremors. Tang San almost leaped at the same time as Xiao Wu, their heights of jump almost identical. Xiao Wu, go! Tang San shouted, pushing his hands forward from his chest. Xiao Wu didn't need to look to know where Tang San's hands were. After 6 years together, they had achieved complete understanding. She lightly tapped Tang San's palms with the tips of her feet, using his momentum to shoot towards Zhao Wuji below. Attack was the best defense. Passively receiving attacks would allow Zhao Wuji to unleash his full strength, denying them any chance. Instead, attacking might buy them more time. Zhao Wuji, seeing that his fist pounding the ground had no effect, wore a slight smile. Seeing Xiao Wu rushing towards him, he didn't dodge. Instead, he placed his hands behind his back, seemingly allowing Xiao Wu to attack. Xiao Wu wouldn't miss such an opportunity. Curling her body as she descended, she rolled forward and, just before reaching Zhao Wuji, extended her body, completing the process of spirit-soul fusion in midair. Her feet simultaneously aimed at the sides of Zhao Wuji's neck. 2 muffled sounds rang out as Xiao Wu's feet accurately landed on Zhao Wuji's shoulders. However, Zhao Wuji didn't even sway. Grinning, he said, "It seems like you have no strength, little girl." Xiao Wu snorted coldly. No strength? Then let me show you what strength is. Her feet seemed to stick to Zhao Wuji's shoulders, and suddenly, she pulled her toes inward, each landing precisely on the major arteries on either side of Zhao Wuji's neck. Then, with all her strength, she twisted her body in midair. Although Xiao Wu's strength alone seemed insufficient to move Zhao Wuji's body, at this moment, she wasn't the only one acting. Zhao Wuji suddenly felt his entire body tighten as thorny vines madly coiled around him, binding his arms and legs securely. The vines tightened violently, releasing a strong paralyzing toxin. Simultaneously, the vines surging from the ground pushed his body upward, lifting his feet off the ground. No matter how strong one was, without a stable footing, they couldn't control their body. Under Xiao Wu's forceful rotation in midair, Zhao Wuji's body began to spin. At this moment, his body was also entangled with Tang San's blue-silver grass, resembling a large blue-black dumpling. With Ning Rongrong's 7 treasures glazed tile pagoda assisting, both Tang San and Xiao Wu were already operating at a level exceeding 30. Xiao Wu's body spun rapidly in midair, forcibly dragging Zhao Wuji's body along. With her hands supporting the ground, Xiao Wu executed a scissor kick. If it were an ordinary person, their neck would have been snapped by Xiao Wu's feet, and their head would have hit the ground during the fall. Taking advantage of the large backward flip, Xiao Wu exerted all her strength. "A turning around is quite fun," Zhao Wuji's voice echoed in the air. Suddenly, Xiao Wu felt her spinning body freeze, and her feet could no longer move her opponent below. A strong force came, causing her originally backward spinning body to return. With a bang, the vines covering Zhao Wuji's body shattered simultaneously, scattering everywhere, and his feet firmly planted back on the ground. At that moment, Zhao Wuji's expression changed slightly, and he let out a low growl. His body suddenly swelled, his already terrifying muscles nearly doubling in size, and his height increased by a meter in an instant. He became extremely burly. 7 dazzling spirit rings rose simultaneously, just as Dai Mubai had said, 2 yellow, 2 purple, 3 black, 7 terrifying spirit rings attached to his body. Ding 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 ding. A series of intensive sounds came from behind Zhao Wuji. Seizing this opportunity, Xiao Wu lightly tapped Zhao Wuji's shoulder with her toes, her soft body twisting against Zhao Wuji's back, her scorpion braid extending downward, entwining around Zhao Wuji's left ankle, and she exerted force with her entire body. The intensive sounds were the attacks launched by Zhu Zhuqing. When she began to dart out, her speed was fully displayed. Indeed, as an agile assault system battle spirit master, her speed was so fast that even Dai Mubai couldn't help but marvel. What was even more terrifying was that every action of Zhu Zhuqing's emitted no sound, silently darting out and attacking, with no energy released, nor the sound of spirit power breaking through the air. After Dai Mubai underwent spirit-soul fusion, his 10 fingers extended into sharp tiger claws. After Zhu Zhuqing underwent spirit-soul fusion, her cat claws were in the form of spikes. After spirit-soul fusion, Zhu Zhuqing's eyes changed color simultaneously, with the left eye turning ink green and the right eye turning clear blue. Her long hair naturally adhered to her back, and as she moved, she carried a faint phantom, making it difficult for others to capture her exact position. Her attacks were also extremely effective. Her claws targeted vital points, forcing Zhao Wuji to release his martial soul. Zhu Zhuqing's timing for her attack was impeccable, coinciding perfectly with the moment Zhao Wuji shattered Tang San's blue silver grass, and when there was a slight relaxation in Xiao Wu's body after being pulled back. Otherwise, her attack wouldn't have been enough to break through Zhao Wuji's defense. However, after Zhao Wuji completed his spirit-soul fusion, Zhu Zhuqing's attacks didn't have such an easy effect. Zhao Wuji's body was like it was cast from steel. Even when she struck with all her might, Zhu Zhuqing's claws could only puncture Zhao Wuji's clothes. This was the first time Xiao Wu's agility technique failed. No matter how much force she exerted, she couldn't make Zhao Wuji's body budge. Even when she managed to hit Zhao Wuji's knee joint after a backflip, it had no effect. Xiao Wu was deeply anxious, but at this moment, she was powerless against her opponent. Actually, it wasn't that Xiao Wu's agility technique was weak, but rather that it was completely countered by Zhao Wuji. The skill attached to Xiao Wu's first spirit ring required precise control of the opponent's body's flexibility to unleash, serving as a lethal effect. However, her strength was far too inferior to Zhao Wuji's, and even with Tang San's assistance, she couldn't control Zhao Wuji. Unless her soul power could reach a level close to Zhao Wuji's, her agility technique would be the least effective against Zhao Wuji, a soul master focusing solely on strength. As the blue silver grass was shattered, Tang San's face immediately turned pale, but at this moment, he didn't hesitate. With a swift step, he rushed forward, and the thick vines reappeared on Zhao Wuji, momentarily delaying him, which was the effect of Tang San's second spirit ring ability, Parasite. Taking advantage of this moment, Tang San had already arrived in front of Zhao Wuji, while Zhu Zhuqing quietly appeared behind Zhao Wuji, her 2 cat claws aiming for his throat and the base of his ear, targeting the body's most vulnerable areas. Seizing the opportunity, while Zhao Wuji hadn't yet freed himself from the blue-silver grass, Tang San suddenly swung a punch at Zhao Wuji's chest. Zhao Wuji burst into laughter, not hurrying to break free from the blue-silver grass. As he pushed out his chest, it was clear that he wanted to test Tang San's strength. A glint flashed in Tang San's eyes. Zhao Wuji's laughter abruptly stopped as he was surprised to find that Tang San's seemingly full-force punch on his chest felt as light as a feather. Because Zhao Wuji had concentrated his soul power in front of his chest, he suddenly felt like he had misjudged his strength. Tang San and Xiao Wu's strength alone was certainly not enough to move Zhao Wuji's body, but it was a different story with his own strength. Tang San's right fist suddenly turned into a palm, and as his palm sucked in, just as Zhao Wuji misapplied his strength, Tang San used his controlling crane-catching dragon skill, causing Zhao Wuji's body to stagger forward. At the same time, he probed forward with his right foot, kicking Zhao Wuji's toe. Even with Zhao Wuji's formidable soul power, he lost his balance in this situation. Tang San's timing was no less impeccable than Zhu Zhuqing's. With the clever use of controlling crane-catching dragon, he essentially used both his own and Zhao Wuji's strength to move Zhao Wuji's body. Get up, Tang San shouted loudly, exerting force with both arms, unexpectedly lifting Zhao Wuji's body abruptly. Xiao Wu. For the first time completely off the ground, Xiao Wu's skill finally had room to exert itself. Her long thighs instantly wrapped around Zhao Wuji's waist, her hands grabbing his ankles, and the light of her first spirit ring burst forth, spinning Zhao Wuji's body violently in the air for 3 turns, causing Zhao Wuji's head to plummet downward, heavily crashing into the ground. Although Zhu Zhuqing's previous attacks hadn't caused any damage, they had inadvertently disrupted Zhao Wuji's response. With the combined efforts of the three, they finally completed this attack. At the moment before Zhao Wuji's body was about to crash into the ground, a thick vine formed of blue-silver grass wrapped around Xiao Wu's waist, lifting her up abruptly, and she gracefully descended in midair, thanks to Tang San's blue-silver grass, performing a beautiful turn. Boom! After Zhao Wuji's spirit-soul fusion body heavily collided with the ground, his entire head was completely buried in the mud. Xiao Wu floated down and landed perfectly on Tang San's shoulder, one foot resting on his right shoulder, while her arms stretched out to maintain balance, gasping for breath. She had exerted all her strength in the previous attack. If it weren't for Tang San's skillful use of controlling crane-catching dragon, she wouldn't have been able to execute her technique, combining two spirit ring skills into one lethal throw. "San, did we go too hard?" Xiao Wu asked nervously. Tang San shook his head. "A teacher Zhao hasn't used his soul skills yet." He glanced at the incense burning on the other side of the ground. At this moment, the incense had only burned 1/3. But with their previous joint attack, Tang San, Xiao Wu, and Zhu Zhuqing could be said to have used all their strength, pulling out all the stops. Tang San quickly retracted the blue-silver grass parasitizing on Zhao Wuji. He didn't want his blue-silver grass to be destroyed by the opponent again. Although the consumption of soul power by the blue-silver grass was not much, the damage to Tang San's own soul power from being destroyed was still significant. Zhao Wuji pushed his arms against the ground, pulling his head out. Previously, Tang San and the others hadn't looked carefully, but now they could see clearly what Zhao Wuji looked like after his spirit-soul fusion. Zhao Wuji's entire body was covered in a thick layer of brown fur. His height had unexpectedly exceeded 2.5 meters. His muscles were bulging, and his brown-yellow eyes emitted a domineering aura, with 7 spirit rings continuously revolving around his body.